days I was working 9 a.m. to midnight, and it was a struggle. And so yes, Mississippi in the house. I love it. So I struggled hardcore, and there was no way I could get another job. So I didn't really know what there was for me to do, and I just knew that there was something more out there. So I was working at one of my jobs, and I was scrolling on Instagram, saw this girl posting about the products, and she was posting about the wrap results, and I totally thought they were fake. I did not think that they were real, and I just kind of kept scrolling through, but I kept seeing her post about this multiple days in a row. And I finally decided, you know what? I don't think these are real. I want to prove her wrong, but if they work, I'll be so happy, because I had gained a lot of weight. I was struggling with my weight because I was diagnosed with a heart condition a little bit before that. So I decided that, you know what, if these do help me feel better about myself, tighten my stomach, make me feel a little bit more confident, I'm game. So I tried them, loved my results, proved myself wrong, proved her right. And I was telling all my friends about them already. So I looked at her Instagram one day and saw that she was making as much money from her phone as I was, working as a full-time nanny, watching, 3 kids 4 days a week. And she was just doing that from her phone while she was in school. So I never looked at her and thought, like, if she can do that, I can do that. It was more like, if she can do that, I can make $100 a month. And I just wanted money for gas and groceries, because I really didn't think that anything more than that was available to me. I thought that only crazy people, like really cool people, unicorns, were able to do what she did. So I joined for $100. That's all I wanted. And I decided to go all in, because I'm kind of like I don't do anything halfway. I go all in. So I jumped in, had no idea what I was doing. I had never done anything like this before. I was too busy. I didn't have the money to start, and I didn't have any friends that would support me. And that's why I did this business. Okay. Because I was sick of not having time. I was sick of not having money, and I was sick of not having friends who wanted to, be encouraging in the things that I was pursuing in my life. So I joined this business, and it changed everything for me. So put in the chat for me, if y'all could just tell me, how long have y'all been in this business? Just so I can kind of gauge like where we're at with all of this. It's probably going to be all over the place. Love it. Awesome. 6 years, best friends. Okay, perfect. So I, decided to go all in, and I joined this business without a clue of what I was supposed to do. And I didn't really have a whole lot of help whenever I joined, but I just decided that I was going to learn along the way. So I became a student. I watched all the YouTube videos. I followed all the top leaders. I kept my head down. I did not look left. I did not look right. I didn't compare myself to other people. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just knew that I needed to take action. I was posting. I was doing all the things that I didn't even know how to do. And because of that, I went Ruby in 4 months. And then I went a year later, I went Ruby to Emerald and Emerald to Diamond on the same day, earned $22,000 in bonuses. And that's 14 months into my business, and I quit my full-time job. So ever since 2016, I've been doing this business full-time. Since I was 22 years old, I was able to retire from corporate America, and I haven't had to clock into a job since then. So that's one of the biggest blessings that Works has given me. And then a year after that, because, average time that it's taken me to promote to a rank has been about a year. But that's fine, because I know that if I keep going, I'm going to be ambassador, I'm going to be top income earner, I'm going to be black diamond, all those things. But a year after that, I went double diamond. And I don't know how in depth you want me to get, but I feel like I need to share this part. So I am going to. So my story is always different. I kind of just like let the spirit lead, but I feel like I need to share this part this time. So I went to conference for the first time in 2017. No. Yes. 2017. And I was still a diamond. Okay. Because this was in January. January 2017, I was a diamond. There were 2 people sitting next to me. That was the only team that I had. And whenever I say I was a diamond, I'm not talking about like one of those diamonds with like 35,000 volume. Okay. Like I was a diamond that was like 10,001 volume. Okay. 10,001 GV. That was me. Was struggling, but I didn't want anybody to know. I put conference on a credit card just so I could get there, because I knew I needed to be surrounded by people who believed in the same things that I believed in and who would encourage me. So I went, me and my 2 girls. we sat in the like nosebleeds at conference. Anybody else been in the nosebleeds at conference? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You have to use binoculars to see the stage. So that was me, 2017. And I had so many different like aha moments. One of them was seeing people speaking on stage. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be on that white couch one day. Like I want to do that. And then I saw the top 100 walk and I thought, oh my gosh, by 2020, I want to be in the top 100 of this business. And the two girls next to me, like I was like barely a diamond and they were like, okay, right? Like, sure, okay, like keep dreaming, right? And then, so I was thinking about all these things. I started growing my vision. I started growing my belief of things that I felt were possible. Whenever you go to an event, if you've already been to one, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't been, you need to get to one because that's what you're going to experience. I just started believing in myself a little bit more. So then at the end, Mark was doing his speech, you know, we all get hype. I was like, oh my gosh. And I thought he was speaking directly to me. And he was like, you need to get it together, like get up and do the things that you know that it takes to be successful. And don't be the lid to yourself. Like there is nobody holding you back. You can get wherever you want to go in this business if you're willing to put in the work. And I'm not afraid of the work. So I was like, why am I thinking that diamond is as far as I can go? In my mind, even whenever I hit diamond, I never truly believed I could go double. Until that day. And that changed everything. And so it wasn't the action. I had been consistent in the action. I had never not enrolled my steps to success in this business ever. However many months, 6 years is. So I can't do 6 times 12 like that. But okay, whatever. 6 years, that many months, I've always completed my steps. But it was the belief, and I lacked the belief. So when I gained the belief and I coupled that with the action I was already doing, I went diamond 2 months later, earned a bonus for myself. I don't remember how much, and I probably can't say because it's recorded. And then I also got a bonus for my boyfriend at the time, now husband, whenever he went diamond. Then I went triple 2 months later. And so within 5 months, and my husband, now he's my husband now, he went double. So we went from ruby and diamond to double and triple. And we earned, I'm just going to say, we earned $105,000 in bonuses since conference until the end of May. And then our paychecks added a zero in them. Okay. Take an average diamond check, add a zero. That's what our paychecks were, not including his. It was nuts. Like volume went from 10,000 to 70,000 in 6 months because I changed the belief that I had in myself. Fast forward a couple of weeks later, okay, go triple. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, let's do this. And then I get a call or email, I forget, from corporate. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble. A customer's mad at me or something, whatever. And they called me and they were like, we want you to speak on stage. What? I literally just said that 6 months ago. And they're like, we want you to talk about the bonuses that you just earned. Like, that's absolutely nuts, dude. So crazy that 6 months ago, I had 2 people sitting with me at conference, and that green carpet where I spoke on stage for the first time, we were like lying to the Airbnb people about how many people we had staying at our house, right? Like, we had people sleeping on top of people. So that is something that changed dramatically for me when I gained belief. Then, like, that next conference, they had given out numbers. I was number 149, and I got to do the walk 1 year later that I said that I was going to do in 2020. And in 2020, I'm a top 30 income earner, not a top 100 income earner. And so that, and it's not to brag. I'm just saying, like, look where I was and where I went, and it had nothing to do with me. It was all about the belief that I had and the team that I had coming with me, because I didn't give up because the team that I had wasn't the team that I wanted. Okay, I didn't sit there and just wallow in the fact that everyone on my team kept quitting. I looked at myself and thought, what am I doing that could prevent this from happening in the future? How can I be a better leader? And then I'm going to keep finding more people, because I'm going to find my aces. If I keep flipping over a deck of cards, there are 4 aces in there somewhere. So if I keep flipping them over, I know that they're coming. And so my aces came along, and now they're triple diamond. And so we literally, in May, we didn't promote to ambassador just because we missed it by the GV, but everyone on my team promoted. Our ambassador chart finished, done. Everything is done. We were just a little short on our GV. That's it. So it's nuts how much can change in your life when you just add the belief. I don't know where that came from, but I felt like I needed to say that. So anyways, I kind of like preached a little bit, but that's my story. Because of this business, we've been able to pay cash for college, cash for Tahoe, cash for our wedding, cash for our honeymoon. We get to travel all the time. We've paid off over 6 figures in debt. We have been able to give back more in a month than we used to make in a month. I've made the best friends ever. We got married in 2018, and my maid of honor was somebody that I met through It Works. And so we just get to help our team do the same thing now. And we feel so stinking blessed by this business in every single aspect. I can't imagine doing anything else with my life. So It Works totally found me, and God knew what he was doing whenever he put it in my life. I thought it was for $100 of, for gas and groceries. And I feel like whenever I joined and people asked, okay, what's your why? My leader was like, what's your why? And I was like, $100 for gas and groceries. So I always like to think that God laughed a little bit, and he was like, you have no idea. And that's where we are right now. And that's our story. So yeah, I could talk all day, but I'm going to shut up so you can ask me a question.
One thing I was hearing you speak, which is an amazing story, is I like the longevity in the process in your story. And I think a lot of times, especially with us having so many new people on our team, there's this idea that there has to be this popcorn version of their success, right? And so really with what you've accomplished in 6 years is amazing. But I think one thing I wrote down is it was 4 months for her to go Ruby. And just imagine, I want to know where your mindset was at, but just imagine if within that first 30 to 60 days, you just made the assumption that this isn't for me because I haven't even gone Ruby, or I didn't get that Ruby bonus when I first started, or whatever that may be. So kind of take us back to when you first started. You had your head down and you were learning. So like in our squad, we have tons and tons of resources through our Launchpad and all of these different things. So how did you take the information that you were learning and was so different for you, but just made the decision you were just going to start applying it right away? So take us to your mindset when you were a newbie and how you kept yourself encouraged and how you say, you know what, this kind of is weird and totally different than what I've ever done, but if she's doing it, I'm going to do it and I'm just going to execute. Hope that question made some sort of sense for you.
Yeah. So, and I'm going to say this because it's going to help me answer your question, but I don't want it to come across the wrong way. So I didn't have training. I didn't have help from my enroller. And that was 2014. Things were so different. She does that with her team now, but she was an Emerald. When I was an Emerald, my training wasn't that great either. Okay. So like, my enroller was there for me. Absolutely. She answered questions, but there was no like, okay, so let's log into your eSuite. Here's what an auto ship is. Here's how you go Ruby. Your first goal is for customers. Here's your shopping spree. That was never laid out for me. Post to post wasn't a thing. Facebook Live wasn't a thing. Stories were not a thing. Periscope was a thing. Google Hangouts was a thing. Some of y'all are like, what? That's what we used to use, okay? Life was totally different in 2014. You are so blessed that you're joining this business in such a time where you get to learn all of these things and you're just like, that's normal. That wasn't normal for us. A lot of the things that we do now were learned along the way, okay? So with that being said, I didn't really have a lot of training where I was applying what I was learning. It was like I had to be my own teacher. And so that's helped me now because I don't want my team to feel that way. So I go above and beyond in my coaching. But I also have this like level of you have the resources available to you, like she said. Be resourceful. That's what I did. I didn't know. I watched YouTube videos. Like I drove to school an hour. I commuted an hour. I didn't even know what self-development was, but I was doing it because it was just logical. Like it just made sense. If I'm going to do something, should probably know about it, right? If you're going to go to be a lawyer, you should probably know a little bit about that, right? So I wouldn't just walk in and be like, all right, I'm going to be a lawyer today. That doesn't work like that. If you're going to be a networks distributor, treat it like a business. You wouldn't just walk into a business and be like, yep, I own the place. Don't know how to do any type of spreadsheets. Don't know how to do any of the stuff that goes along with that. You have to learn. So I just did it. Like it just made sense to me. So go and find things. I just looked up literally on YouTube, guys. I would sit in my driveway, put my seatbelt on, search signing LCs with it works, click a button and put it in reverse. And I just started driving to my school, literally was listening to stuff all the time on my way to school, while I was at school, on my way home from school. That's what I did. And I just started learning things from everybody. And I didn't just like take it all in. I just applied crap before I did it. And like, I would just start posting stuff. And then the next day I'd hear something. They're like, don't do this. And I'm like, ugh. Okay, not going to do that anymore because I already did that, right? Like I did everything wrong, but in a way I did everything right. Like I just freaking got started. And I'm so glad that I did. And honestly, like you asked, you know, how did I not get discouraged whenever it took me 4 months to go Ruby? Bro, I thought I was killing it. I thought I was the S word. Like I was like, oh yes, like I'm doing so good. Like, you know, I was excited about that because I wasn't looking at anybody else. I didn't know that people went Ruby faster, right? Like I had no idea, genuinely, I'm not making this up. I had no idea. I was hype as crap for myself. I was like, bet, let's go. If I can go Ruby, I can go Diamond. So that was my goal. And it took me a year. And at that point, that's more whenever I started to like focus on the things that, you know, setting goals for myself. And I would say if there was any type of discouragement for how long it took me in the journey, it was from Ruby to Diamond. So if it's okay, I can talk a little bit about that and I'll make it short. But from Ruby to Diamond, it took me a year. And that's when I started comparing. And that's why it took me so long, because whenever you look at, there's a GIF or a thing that people share on Facebook. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's literally the lanes in a swimming pool and you see Michael Phelps. Have y'all seen this? And his head is down. We know he won. Okay. We don't have to know what race it was. He won. Then the person next to him, where was he looking? At Michael Phelps. He lost. Okay. You win when you look straight ahead and you look down. But that's what I was doing whenever I went Ruby, and I was hype as crap for myself. I was so excited and nobody could tell me anything. I was so pumped because I joined for $100 and I was making $500 a month, not including bonuses. I had the right perspective, but then I lost it. And I did start looking left. And I did start looking right after I went Ruby. I started looking at my friend who claimed to go Diamond the same month I claimed to go Diamond. I went executive, she went Diamond, got her a bonus, okay? And Ruby bonuses were not a thing when I went Ruby, by the way. So like if you earn a Ruby bonus, that's awesome, congratulations, it's a bonus. If you don't earn a bonus, you can still be a top income earner. I'm number 27 income earner right now, and I have $0 in bonuses on my paycheck. Not one bonus. It doesn't matter, it's a bonus, okay? So I started looking left and looking right, saw this girl go Diamond, saw this girl go whatever, started focusing on them, and then I almost quit. Twice, but this was the first time. Like legit, the only reason why I didn't quit was because there was some guy at my work who said, you're not going to quit this because you're going to freaking kill it one day and you're going to be a top income earner. And I'm married to him now. And he's the reason why I didn't quit the business that day that I almost did. But the reason why I almost quit was because I was looking at everything else and I lost perspective.
I'm tired. I want to eat.
Alice. All right, you're good. Sorry about that, Morgan.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I lost perspective of where I joined from, like why I joined and what my goals were. And so I had actually earned one of the cruises that they had. Like we did the Margaritaville, they had cruises. I got on the cruise. I knew I didn't want to quit because I wanted to go on the cruise. That's the reason why I didn't quit. That and the encouragement from my now husband. They were like, no, you have to go. So I went on the cruise and I started learning things that I had never heard before, surrounded myself with people in this business who were encouraging. Imagine that. Then I felt filled up and I felt encouraged. So then 2 months later, that's when I went from ruby to emerald and emerald to diamond in the same day. And I earned so many bonuses. And then I got to quit my job. So imagine if I had quit. It's like the other gift that we always see where the guy is like hammering away, and he's been hammering away for so long at this mountain, and he is almost to the diamonds, and he stops and turns and walks away. That's what happened. That is what would have happened to me if I had stopped whenever I wanted to. So don't quit the business, because you never know how close you are to your breakthrough. And so that's kind of why I've been here for so long. And I see too, like, I never joined to just be here for 6 months. Like, I really wanted this for the long haul, even if it was $100 a month, because I never want to give $100 up a month. Like, would you want to pay somebody $100 every month for nothing? Like, would you want to flush it down the toilet? No. Like, why would I quit? So hopefully that helps.
No, that was so good. It's so crazy. Like, who told us it was supposed to be an overnight success, right? And even when I think every single person here can take a moment to think about, in 6 years, in your current position where you are, even if it took you 6 years, would you be making $20,000 a month at the job that you're at today? And for majority of the 70 people on here, the answer is probably no. So it could take you 2 years, but even if it took you 6 or 10, it's totally worth it, because the opportunity is more than what most of us would be able to get. So we're going to shift a little bit here to social media. We want to kind of ask you some questions about social media. And so our team, over the years, for the most part, have been face-to-face builders. But of course, in this climate that we're in, it's so important to be able to build and do things on social media. So one question we got is, we want to know, what are some of the daily tasks that you do on your Instagram, and how you've been able to, because you told us when you joined, and I think it's so important for people to know, you didn't join as an influencer with, hundreds and thousands of followers and everything. It's something that you've worked on. And so let us know, what are your daily Instagram or just social media tasks, and what that's looked like for you over the years to develop into this social media influencer that you have.
Yeah. So, I don't know. There's a couple different things that I do, and then I'll kind of break them down. But then the biggest thing is just being yourself, because people are following you to get to know you. So one of the things that I always make it a point to do is, in my posts, not only am I, talking about the business and talking about the products, but I'm also posting about things that I would have posted about if I wasn't with the business. So maybe that's, an encouraging quote. Maybe that's a Bible verse. Maybe that's something from a sermon, or maybe that's just me and my friends hanging out and something totally not to do with the business, or, whatever. Like, there's so many different things that you can talk about, but you want to add value. Okay. So whenever I am posting on social media, I actually made this weekend. It's been such a game changer for me. And this is like literally brand new. I just started doing this, but it's been helpful, so I can share it with you. I wrote out like a thing. If this is going to help you with posting, I don't know about you, but I'll keep it real. I struggle with feeling like I'm either talking too much about the business and it's like not very genuine, or like could seem disingenuine, or like they're just like a bunch of commercials, right? And like they bought a movie ticket to go see commercials. That's how I feel like whenever people come to my page sometimes. So this week I've tried to be really intentional about making it a variety of posts that keep people engaged. My interaction 2 days in, through the freaking roof, y'all. It's insane. So here's what I did. I wrote at the top of this, just like a note on my phone, I just said, who do I want to be on social media? And I'm not saying like, what facade do I want to put up on social media? I'm saying, who am I? And who do I want to be portrayed as on social media that's accurate to who I am as a person, in my best self? Okay. So I wrote, I want to be a Christian. Well, I am a Christian, but I want people to know that. Okay. I want to be helpful. I'm a wife. I'm a dog mom. I own a business. I have awesome products. And then this week specifically, I'm hosting my team retreat, and that starts in 2 days. Okay. So that's what I wrote down. Then from there, I broke things down of things I could talk about regarding those topics. Okay. So, Christian, I could put, verses, I could do posts from sermons, and that's going to hold me accountable too, to make sure that I'm doing those things as well. So, that's one thing I can do, or self-development, like quotes from that, but that's going to hold me accountable because we do these things already. But if we're not intentional to think about like, okay, how can I make a post from this? We won't do it. So it's really simple if you just have that intentional mindset. Then I said I wanted to be helpful. So I broke it down from there and I said, so what are some things that I am comfortable with and familiar with that I could talk about? I work out. I don't like to cook and I'm not very good at cooking, but I post the most random crap for food and people are like, how did you make that? I'm like, bro, it's chicken. Like, so you don't have to be like some chef to be posting about stuff, but people always ask me about my recipes. So I was like, let me try a new recipe and I'll post about it. So many freaking people. So workout, cooking, and then I talked like I want to be helpful because I struggle with anxiety. So that's going to be something that I can talk to people about and be encouraging about. And it's something that a lot of people do struggle with. So I know they can connect with me. Then I said makeup. I don't know anything about makeup. People always ask me about my makeup. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll talk about that. Like, I don't know. And then wife, like I can make a marriage post, dog mom, da 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 da. And then for my retreat, I wrote out a couple different things. So from that, I wrote out all these posts that have a palm tree next to them. And so one of them was about like a dwell journal that I found that helps with anxiety. I just posted about that. I posted one about marriage and like just some insight that I've gained in the 2 years of marriage that we've had, things like that. So if you're posting those things, that's going to keep them around for your business posts because they're going to be like, I want to follow this girl because she has good, cooking tips. She's always helpful. She told me something about anxiety. I got this journal from her. Now they got that journal. Now they're going to post about it. Then they're going to tag me or they're going to think about me whenever they have the journal. Hi. And then that's going to be something that's going to help them. And then that's going to refer them back to me. So, and it just gets your interaction up so that whenever I do post a story about my coffee, everybody's replying to it. Holy freaking crap. I posted a story last night about collagen. I've signed 3 customers today from collagen already. And that's just because I started implementing more quality stuff in my content that I'm posting about on social media. So posting is huge. That's like, I spend a lot of time on that one because that is a really big one. Another thing that I do every day is adding to my network. I also like that's important because if you're not, if you're talking to the same people every single day, like you're going to hear crickets, right? You have to talk to new people. The other thing is making sure that you're engaging with people, creating those relationships. Being personal too on your posts really helps create those relationships where even if you have never talked to them in your life, they feel like they know you because of your posts. Okay. I've had people at conference come up to me. They're like, how's Nala? I'm like, what? Do I know you? Like, I don't say that, but I'm like, where do I know them from? Like, I feel bad. Like, I don't remember them. They're like, we just met. It's fine. I just follow you on social media. They feel like they know you. That's the goal. And so, adding to your network, engaging, posting, those are the 3 main things that I do. And so the other thing I do is TikTok, and I can talk about that or not, but I do use TikTok a lot. That's where I've signed a lot of my distributors. Actually, one that's coming on my retreat, she's going diamond this month. She signed 4 months ago. We met through TikTok. Made a post about that, okay? Because that's cool, and that's something that people are like, oh my gosh, like that blows out the water, with my small town sob story where I can't join because I don't know anybody. Well, I met this girl through TikTok. So those are some things that I do. And through TikTok, I actually grow my Instagram network that way, and I have a lot of new followers from that. So that's what I do.
So good, guys. I hope you have those notes. I did have a question, but I think you kind of answered like how you duplicate your social media process to your team for new people. But I think how you've given us this breakdown is very easy to duplicate. So I hope you guys got that because it really did help to bring out the value that each of us individually can bring through social media by asking these questions. So that was good. Who do you want to be portrayed as? And then having that list and your post should reflect that. So I'm excited for all of our social medias to grow from that. Listen, I have to say this, and this is just probably a technical question. You do have a beautiful social media page. And so and hopefully I can formulate this question right. And so we know that it's important for things to look great to the eye, right? When it comes to our pictures and everything. So tell us just some really simple ways that you may do you don't have to go into like crazy detail. Like if you tell us simple things, we can do the research and things of that nature. But how much time and how important are like your edits and the actual content that you're putting on your page and the amount of time that you're spending and how important that is to your social media?
So, I actually feel like my Instagram's not that cute right now. Like, I don't
Oh,
know.
it's cute. Okay.
Thank you.
There you go.
I will every now and then, like, I feel like mine has too much like dark colors on there. Like, there's like a lot of like, I don't know, like there's like a lot of black in this area. So I might like go through and archive that picture or just like a couple of them that make it look darker, so that it can look a little bit more like that. But I kind of like go in every now and then and I'll assess stuff like that, but I don't ever delete it. I just archive it. And you click the three little dots in a picture to archive them, and it saves it on Instagram so it doesn't go away forever. So that's something that I do, but also like literally I just kind of pay attention to the type of post that I made before that. And so whenever I see that like I did a selfie, like I don't want a selfie right next to that. I'm going to kind of switch it up a little bit. And as far as my edits, I use the app called Tezza, and it's just this little orange thing right there. Tezza, and it's really cheap. It's like $1.99, and I think it's just a one-time purchase. Maybe it's monthly, I don't know. But you can go on there and they have edits for you, and then you can also edit their edits. And so that's kind of what I did, and I just created my own. So if I go on here, like I created this preset, and so if I go to a picture, I can literally, these are all edited, but if I click on this picture and I click copy, edit, and then I scroll up to a picture that hasn't been edited, I can paste it onto the post and save. That's how easy it is. Once you get an edit that you like, it can pretty much be applied to all your pictures, and some of them I might turn down a tone, but that's it. So I don't spend a lot of time editing posts. I am very red. Editing a freaking post does not make me money. Posting makes me money, so if I can get it out there faster, that's what I'm gonna do. It might not be the perfect color. It might be a little blurry. I mean, I'm not gonna post something that's crappy, but I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on it, especially on Facebook. It can literally not be even bright, and it's fine. Like what I mean by that is this picture, and it's edited, so I did make it brighter, but this is something that I would not post on Instagram that I did post on Facebook. It's a little grainy. It would make my Instagram dark, okay? But it's a quality good picture. And like you can tell, like, does that make sense? I'm not saying post crap and post like dark blurry pictures, but I'm saying it doesn't have to be perfect. So many people I think like overanalyze the editing process, and I'm like, that doesn't make you money. Like it's okay if it's not perfect. So just start trying some different things, play around with it, and then edit your page up a little bit too. So there may be things you need to delete, and there may not be. So that's what I do to edit pictures.
So good. So we on this team, and our, you know, I'm sure you probably heard this. We do PMF plus SD plus PD. That's our thing of making sure, you know, you're productive in our business. So you talked to us about the posting and all of those things and gave us some really great tips. So now I just want to hear a little bit about and of course I know you're using Host to Post and things of that nature, but what does messaging and following up look like for you, and how often do you do it? And with the follow-up, what is that? I know a lot of people have an opportunity of, am I following up too much? What am I saying? When is that time to kind of let go? And they have this battle that I think really that people have with themselves. The person on the other side of the screen probably isn't even thinking about it like that. So just tell us, in your day, what does the messaging and the following up look like for Morgan?
Okay, so I message for Host to Post on Facebook. So I'll start with that because there's some following up that goes in with that too. So if I'm messaging for Host to Post, I'm going to go through my Facebook friends list in order of the newest to oldest, and I'll just kind of like scroll a bit to people that didn't just add me yesterday, but a little bit further than that, and I'll just start messaging down the list, and I'll say, hey girl, I have a question. That's it. Hey girl, I have a question. Hey girl, I have a question. Send 35 to 50 of those. Then wait for them to respond, and then I'll say, I was wondering if you'd do me a favor. It's nothing huge. Would you be, willing to put this on your wall? Da 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 da. Then wait for them to say yes. Then I'll send them, okay, perfect. This is the post I want you to do for me, blah, 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 blah. I give them a giveaway post. always. If they're posting, if I'm messaging them, I'm giving them a giveaway post. So with that, you're going to lose some people along the way, okay? The people that post for you in that moment or on that day are few and far between. Amen? Okay. Here's where the follow-up system comes in, not just for people that you're talking to about the products. You have to follow up with people about posting for you as well, or you're going to miss a lot of people. So the people that I say, hey girl, I have a question to, and remember, these are scripts, so that they're in like chunks, right? And I actually add a little orange heart at the end of my, hey girl, I have a question. So I can easily find a chunk of them in my messages, in my Facebook Messenger. So I'll go through the people that say, hey girl, I have a question. If they didn't respond to that, I'll send them a message the next day. And whether they read it or not, I say, did I catch you at a bad time? And then if they responded to I was wondering if you'd do me a favor, would you post this on your wall for me? If they didn't respond to that one, then the next day I'm going to say, and this is just like every day. So like I'll scroll through and just find the groups of this, right? Because some people will respond to a message and then forget to respond to the second one. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to message them and say, would you be willing to do that for me? And I can't tell you how many people are like, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, why didn't you say that yesterday? Like they just like forgot or they got busy or whatever, but you have to follow up. So then if I send them the post and they don't respond to the message that I send about the post, then I'm going to say, did you get a chance to post that yet? I'd hate for you to miss out on the giveaway. Okay. So simple, not spammy, not like cold message. It's literally what I would say. It just makes sense. Would you be willing to post that for me? Smiley face. Do you get a chance to post that yet? Hey, if you miss on the giveaway, just really casual and nonchalant. So I do that the next day. People I messaged today, I'm going to scroll back through on Facebook. I don't have a system to follow up with this part, okay? Just go through your Facebook messages and do that. Then the ones who post the giveaway post, they post for TFX, or they post for the giveaway, and then people comment, then I have them message me entry. Then I give them the post to make. Again, if they didn't post that, I'm going to message them the next day and follow up and ask if they will. Same thing goes on through, and then those people post about TFX. And then the people that are interested in the ThermoFight X that are commenting on people's posts that I message them, if I didn't hear back from them by the next day, and this is not the same, this is just for people that are interested in like the host to post, the whatever product you're doing, the very next day I'll say, what you think? Question mark, smiley face. Or, hey, what you think? So simple. Like, did you get my message kind of thing, but like nicer? And one thing I want to say about the mindset with following up, it's all in the mindset. Because if you have a mindset of, oh my gosh, they didn't reply to me because they're annoyed with me and they don't like me and they don't want to post for me and nobody wants to do my giveaway, then yeah, you're not going to post. You're not going to want to. You're not, or follow up, or you're not going to want to follow up. But whenever I follow up, I'm like, you're welcome, because I'm giving away $350 to somebody, and it could be you. You're welcome, right? That's how I think about it, and I always imagine them seeing my message the day before, walking into the gym, getting stopped by somebody from church or their high school or whatever that they haven't seen in forever. They're like, hey, I haven't seen you. And they're like, oh my gosh. And then their kids start running around and they put their phone in their purse and they go do their workout and they totally forgot. And then I message them back and they're going to be so glad that I did. Because $350 would put groceries on their table for a month. And so that's why I follow up. So whenever you have that perspective, how would you not follow up with people? You want to do that. Not only that, but you're excited to. And so I always think of it that way, and it's so encouraging. So that's what I do. And then the other thing with actual follow-ups as far as like potentials, so like people that I've already talked to about the products, and this could be on Facebook or Instagram, I have a system, and this is, I just have always done this, but I guess not a lot of people do. So maybe, I don't know, people are always like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? Anytime that I talk to somebody throughout the day, I don't carry I have planners. I don't carry them around like this all day while I'm talking to people and like doing stuff. And I'm getting messages and responses throughout the day, right? So what I do anytime that somebody responds back to me, I take a screenshot on my phone. That's it. So I went and I've been running around like a freaking chicken with my head cut off today. Okay. And I was like pulling weeds, and somebody responded back to me. I screenshotted it and I like sent them a message back. Okay. Then tonight I'm going to go through my messages, and these are all my, oh, well, some of those are pictures. These are screenshots of people that were interested in the products today. And so now obviously it stops right there. That's the last one. So I'm going to start here. And tonight before bed, I'm just going to go through all these pictures and I'm just going to write down their name. That's it. And if their name's on there more than once, if I've already written it and their name pops up again, I'm going to do a star next to their name because they were really interested. Because we talked a lot. And if they're a potential distributor, I'm going to highlight them in yellow. Because corporate does a lot of things for potential distributors. My team does some like online opportunity lives every other week. Those are my people I'm going to invite, and I can easily find them. So that's what I do for follow-ups. And then I go back 2 days after the people that I followed up with. So what's today? Tuesday? So tomorrow's Wednesday. So I haven't written down my Tuesday people yet, but this is who I talked to on Monday, okay? Tomorrow, I'm going to go back through and I'm going to message these people. I'm just going to say, hey, what you think? That's it. But remember, some people I've already said, hey, what you think to? So I'm going to go back, and if they haven't responded to what you think, but they read it, I'm going to say, hey, girl, are you still interested? If not, I can take you off my follow-up list. I'd hate to bug you. What they don't know is that they're not coming off my follow-up list, but they think that they are, so they don't feel pressured, and they can come back to me whenever they're ready. Otherwise, I'll talk to them in about a month. Okay? Or I'll talk to them in a couple weeks, depending on how serious that they were. Or another follow-up that I like, if they were so interested and then drop me like a hot rock, it's the money. So I'm going to call out the elephant in the room so they don't feel guilty about it. And I'm going to say, hey girl, did you still want to order, or did you want to order today, or did you want to wait till another paycheck? They're like, oh yeah, I'd wait for another paycheck, please. Perfect. No big deal. Bro, we joined for extra money. No judgment here. We joined because we were broke, right? Most of us. So that's, I don't care, but they feel bad and they feel embarrassed, so they don't want to say it. So they're not ignoring you because they're not interested all of a sudden, but they're ignoring you because they feel bad and they feel guilty and they don't have the money and they don't want to tell you. I call it out, then they're able to tell me. So that's what I do. And then whenever they're interested in signing up and I'm like, okay, this person's like for real serious, I will actually on my little, whenever I screenshot, if you have an iPhone, if you just like make a line on the screenshot, it draws stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about? Johnny, you can do that. You make a screenshot and you can draw on it. So I'll draw a little star. And so those people are going to go on this planner where I'm very like organized. So some of y'all are like, but I write their names down. So if you like use a napkin and you write your potentials names on a napkin, that's fine too, but you're going to write it on your napkin, okay? These are your people that you're like, these are going to order today. These people are going to order tomorrow. This person's name is going to be ordering on Friday because she gets paid, okay? So I highlight them in blue, my personal preference, but what I'm telling you is that on Mondays, I go back to the people that I talked to the week before who I have written in blue. So I've probably sent them the order form, which is how I personally sign people up. And then I let them know, hey girl, I hate to, I can't hold your spot anymore. I need to hear back from you today in order for you to get my discount, or I'll have to give the discount spot to somebody else. I hope that you understand. And it's very like to the point, very like, bro, you can't just ghost me. Like you have to respond, but I'm not mad, but you just have to tell me, and it's okay if you can't order. A lot of them will say, well, I'm sorry, just like I didn't get paid yet, or my paycheck wasn't as much. And then I can follow up with them again, but I asked them for a date. That's okay. When you get paid again, I'll help you. So I don't miss people. And I think that's why I enroll so many people. It's not really because I talk to more people than you, although I might. I just follow the heck up all the time. Like I am on it. I will say one thing I'm so good at is following up. And it's just because I have a system. It's not because of who I am as a person. It's just because I found something that works for me. So find something that works for you to follow up. Because if you don't have a system, systems win. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay, so make a plan and stick to that. And that's what I've been doing for so long, and it's helped so much. So
That is so, so good. You know, one thing that I pulled from that, because a lot of the stuff that you got, the tasks that she does, like with the host to post, you guys all know that. But I think what's really important is how she doesn't get weary in the process. She's doing the same thing over and over again. And I think sometimes people struggle with, what should I do today? What you should do today is what you did yesterday, and keep doing it. And do not have this conversation in your head whether or not you should follow up with someone. You 100% will. So I love that you just share that I'm doing the same thing over and over again. And yes, what was your number again? 20? Number 27, Morgan, people are ignoring her too, guys. I want you to hear that. People are ignoring her too. It's not just you. I tell you guys all the time, you're not special. Everybody getting ignored. But it's just her ability to follow up. And so that's amazing. And so here's one question that we kind of can go out in. It's the 15th. It's the middle of the month. We have people in here who are going to promote. They're going to do amazing things. I just want you to pour your heart out. No matter what has happened the 1st through the 14th, just give some words to really pick up today and go after every single thing they said they were going to do on September 1st. So just take us home.
Yes. So guys, you can do whatever it is that you wanted to do on September 1st. Okay. And if it's not important to you on the 15th and that's not reflective in your work ethic, then don't say it's important to you on the 1st of the month. If you're not willing to do the work on the 15th of the month and the 16th of the month and the 17th of the month, okay? So there's 2 different groups in here. Some people have been killing it this month. They've been working so hard. They're so proud of their consistency. Maybe this is some of the first times that they've been consistent. And you're like, I am doing so freaking great, but I still feel really far from my goals. Okay, if that's you, put a 1. You're like, I've been consistent, but I still don't really know how this is gonna happen. Okay. That was me pretty much every promotion. Okay. So just because it doesn't feel close or feel like it's gonna happen doesn't mean that it's not. There are so many things that happen at the end of the month, and it's about being consistent at the beginning of the month to see the fruits of that at the end. Okay. And remember, it's the things you did last month, because some of you got consistent on September 1st. That's great. I am so proud of you. Be consistent again, because you're going to see the fruit of that in November. Our business follows us about 2 months. We're about 2 months behind our efforts. So the things that you're seeing right now are what you did, a direct reflection of how hard you worked in July. Ugh. Some of y'all took July off. And you're wondering what you're doing wrong right now. I'm doing all the things. Yeah, you are. You're doing all the things that I do. You're listing them off, checking them off. Yeah, I do that. Morgan, I do that. I do that. I do that too. I have a follow-up system. But you weren't doing it in July and August. You just did it on September 1st. And that's great. But what I'm encouraging you to do is to keep doing that. Because it's not going to be just like a 2-week thing that gets you to where you want to go. And if you, okay, so this is like all over the place because there's so many different like scenarios and different types of people that are in here. But I feel like I just like need to tell somebody in here, whatever rank that you're going for that you think is so hard, you haven't just been working on that this month. You've been working on that since you joined. So for me, that was the biggest relief whenever I was going for ambassador in May, and we're still going for ambassador, but that was like our month to go ambassador and we missed it. But we were shooting to go ambassador in May, and I was like, I don't think I have what it takes. This is a lot to accomplish in 1 month. They said, you haven't been doing this for a month. You're not accomplishing ambassador in 1 month. You have been working on this promotion for almost 5.5 years. So be encouraged that you have put in the work. You have done the things that it takes, and you are going to see the fruit of that, because it's literally impossible to sow a seed and not see the fruit. It's scientifically impossible. Okay. Even the Bible talks about sowing seeds and reaping them. So if Jesus talks about sowing seeds and reaping it, you can take it to the bank that that's going to happen for you. But it's the amount of seeds that you sow. It's the amount of effort that you put in. So some of you need a 10x your effort. Maybe you have been doing all the things, but you've just been going through the motions. That was me a couple of days ago. I told my team yesterday. I was just kind of going through the motion, thinking that things would just kind of happen and flow together for me because they have in the past. But what I was experiencing in those times where I wasn't working as hard were the fruits of the things I had been doing whenever I was being consistent. So then I stopped being consistent and I continued that pattern, and I ran out of seeds that were going to reap and harvest. So I had to plant new seeds, and they're already harvesting. Okay, you're not far from the results of your efforts, but you just have to keep going. And some of you need to do it a little bit more. Kick it up a notch. Okay, take it from where you're doing it here and do it up here. 10x your efforts. There's a book called 10x Rule by Grant Cardone. If you're like, that's me, that's a book that I want you to listen to, because it's really going to help you understand the fact that it's not that people don't want what you have. He says in that book that the biggest obstacle to success is people not knowing about you. So don't worry about, oh my gosh, what if I post too much? Oh my gosh, what if I message too much? What if I follow up too much? What is the word that he uses? I can't remember the word, but it's people not knowing about you. People don't even know that you do this business. That's the biggest obstacle. It's not that people don't want the products. They'd want them if they just knew about them. So 10 extra efforts in every single aspect. So if you went after this goal, if God put this dream in your heart, he did not put this dream in your heart just to let you fall, just to let you, fall on your face and laugh at you. And I'm not saying that it's going to happen this month, but I'm saying that your goal is going to happen. And I believe in it for this month for you. But there's so many things that have to come together. So I want you to keep pushing. And I've had times where I didn't hit my goal. So maybe you missed your goal in August and you're carrying that doubt into September. Lay it down. Remove yourself from that doubt, because that doubt is not present here anymore. It does not belong here anymore. I want you to move forward without that and without the guilt of the things that you haven't done this month, and decide that, you know what, right now, I'm going to switch my efforts. I'm going to shift my focus, and I'm going to create momentum for myself and go after the things that you want. And God put that in your heart for a reason, and it's going to happen. And I know that it says in the Bible too, God will finish the work that he will continue the good work in you until it's finished on the day of completion. That if it's not good, it's not done. So keep freaking going. Go after the things that you want, because God put it in your heart for a reason, and he wants you to go after bigger goals than you even have for yourself right now. Because the little goals, we could claim that as like, yeah, well, I just worked really hard and I did it. But those massive goals, the times where you're on the 15th of the month and you're like, I'm not even charted for my promotion. I still need 6 distributors to promote to whatever rank. And then you still do it on September 30th, or let's just say September 29th, because we're balling like that. That's where God gets the glory, because God's like, I did that. There's no way you could take credit for it. So I want y'all to go after every single thing that you have and a little bit more. Do all the effort and a little bit more. 10x everything, your dreams, your vision, cast that with your team. Help them get where they're going, because if you help enough people get where they want to go, you will inevitably get where you want to go.
Yes, I love it. Y'all give her virtual hand claps. Yay.
This was so fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Morgan. That was also good. You gave us so much juice, and we appreciate it. And I know that everybody who spent this hour is going to not just hear this knowledge, but apply it and right in this moment. So I'm going to pray us out, and we're also going to touch over you and your ambassador promotion. So we're going to touch and agree with you in that really quickly, and we're going to keep it going and let you go. So God, we thank you for this time. We thank you for your presence here in this moment. We thank you for Morgan and her life and her words, God. We thank you for her story. Right now, the Money Squad, we have our arms wrapped around her, asking that you guide her as she leads her team to Ambassador Diamond this month, God. We ask that you just connect all the pieces, God, and that what she's believing for her team, that you will do exceedingly abundantly above what she can even imagine, God. So thank you that today is the 15th, and that we have flipped the switch on this team, and we have done amazing things, God. So we just love you and we praise you. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen. All right, guys, have a good night. Again, thanks so much for hopping on, Morgan.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye.
There's a power hour, guys, so you could stay on.